So you should be able to see the text of the Iron Flask thing now.
So I say we go ahead and open up the flask and use that to fight the giants.
We don't have the... we do have the command word. Could you get that from Identify, didn't you?
I'm worried it won't get back in. And then we have to deal with the other problem.
Understandable.
Could we... It's a primordial. Could we order it back to like an elemental plane?
Um,
Because it all comes down to what we can and can't order it to do. I'm still not actually in favor of this plan. I'm just, curious.
Yeah, I'll say, yeah. You probably could order it back to an elemental plane.
But not back into the flask?
Yeah, I'm gonna kibosh ordering it to fail its save and get back in the flask. Mostly because I don't want you to be able to unleash a fire primordial on demand.
Yeah, that's fair.
Aww.
Though this thing...
What if we just want a pet primordial?
This thing has been like, it's been a big part of Gauntlgrim for a long time, right? Like, it is... Gauntlgrim needs it.
It would be fair to say that Gauntlgrim was built around this primordial.
Is the primordial intelligent?
Yes.
Okay.
It's extremely pissed off all of the time, but it is intelligent.
So, is Inks proposing to return it to Gauntlgrim? Is that what's happening?
We did kind of promise we would do that.
Are we slavers now? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, I was gonna say it's kind of a dick move to the primordial.
Right. I'm not sure I'm down with slavery. Even if it's primordial slavery.
You make a compelling point.
It seems like a dick move, to use the technical term.
To be fair, you are intending to use it as a slave for an hour.
Only because I don't have a better way to stop the giants.
You can call it what you want, darling.
I'm just saying, that still seems like a better deal for Primordial than taking it back to Gauntlgrim.
Pot calling kettle black.
Yes, but in one case it's for a good purpose, and the other case it's just for a bunch of people being dicks.
You don't know what they make in that forge. Neither do I.
Do they make lives?
I think they make
Who
golems.
knows? They might have made ox.
It's true.
You know,
Wouldn't that
the more I'm thinking about this, the more I'm thinking that Primordial really shouldn't be taken back. Oh, I don't think I'm okay with that.
I mean, on the other hand, have you considered the livelihood of all of the people in the city who depend on it? I'm not saying that it's right to keep it enslaved, don't get me wrong. I'm simply saying that before you act, you have to consider all the consequences.
So if a bunch of people depend on you being enslaved, would you be okay with that?
Probably not. Does their preference outweigh mine?
Generally, when it comes to slavery, I would say it does not.
Was it enslaved or was it captured? And by that, I mean was it a danger to the society when it was caught?
Does that make a difference?
Unclear. The Primordial has been enslaved for literally millennia. Or it's been trapped in the forges at Gauntlgrim for literally millennia. Yeah, Syl, unfortunately, you don't quite remember your ancient dwarven kingdom foundings too well. Apparently,
But
Ox,
look at library here.
apparently Ox does. Though.
Ox has been around.
Okay, let me get back to you on that one because I have to check that and make sure.
I recall you saying that it has done vast damage when it was released before, so it has been
Oh,
lost and
yeah.
it has killed a whole shitload of people then.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, we know they're exceedingly dangerous, and having one loose on the material plane is a horrifying prospect. Period.
Yeah. So the Primordial in Gauntlgrim was found. Oh boy, long time ago. The Primordial in Gauntlgrim was found by dwarves in basically a coma-like state several millennia ago, underneath the mountains of northwest. Where? I'm trying to see if I can find if the actual mountain range still exists. I'm not sure it does, but basically under some mountains that used to be in northwest Faerun. They captured it, recognizing the fact that, a sleeping primordial on their plane was a bad thing. They captured it and stuck it in the forge at Gauntlgrim.
So, I mean, you go out to visit your friend, you get a little lost along the way, decide to take a nap somewhere, and then a bunch of people enslave you for millennia.
I mean, we know the thing is, we know that it has done massive damage and a large number of deaths across the continent.
Sure. I mean, are you saying if a bunch of people enslaved you and then you managed to escape, you wouldn't wreck some shit on your way out?
Yeah, but what if you were wrecking shit on the way in and then they enslaved you? That is a different situation.
But that's not what happened.
So there's the copy paste of the relevant history.
Wouldn't it have paid its debt at this point, though, if it did wreck a bunch of shit on the way in?
Yeah. Plus, they found it while it was asleep. That's when it got enslaved in the first place. So it wasn't wrecking shit and then enslaved. It got enslaved and then it broke free and then it wrecked shit.
Well, it's been sleeping. I mean, that's not a good situation, but it's not
Right.
it's not
But
the same thing as being in chains and screaming for however many thousand years.
I mean, he does make a compelling point, and at the end of the day, it is enslaved.
plus, if you're worried about it being a danger to the world, the correct solution is to put it back where it belongs, not to chain it up and build metal inside of it. Forge metal inside of it.
And as a knock-on effect, we would be freeing a bunch of enslaved water elementals.
Maybe. They might keep him.
That's true.
Yes, this is all good and wonderful.
But currently we have an army of giants coming towards the doorstep that we need to deal with.
And possibly more giants to deal with later, along with whatever the hell is going on with this extra planar being that they were talking about down south. Which, who knows, maybe a forge to make a bunch of weapons to deal with them might not be a bad idea to have.
Not to mention, acquiring the enmity of at least one city of dwarves is at least something to be considered. They're not going to be happy with us. Lord Boone will likely not be happy with us.
I definitely need some time to think on the whole what to do with the primordial thing. But more importantly, since we're not, I don't think not going to let us use it to take out the Colossus, because it would take out Adbar as well, which would defeat the purpose.
Yeah, it's not a solution to the problem at hand.
It could be if you're into replacing your problems with bigger ones.
Really not, though. Not my thing.